In this session, I will discuss about the applications of integration. The use of integral as a limit of a sum enables us to solve many physical or geometrical problems at a determination of areas, volumes, arc length, moment of inertia, centroid, etc. It means that when we come to the practical approaches of this integration, so far, what we have discussed was the theoretical concepts related with the integration. Now, you can apply those techniques in the integration to determine the areas, volumes, arc lengths, moments of inertia, and identification of centroids, etc. It means that we can apply this integration in the physical or any geometrical problems for determination of these things, but in this session, I will simply discuss about how to obtain area using as an application of integration. When we are going to identify the area, if it is a square, if it is a rectangle, if it is a circle, or if it is a any what we can say any triangle, likewise, if it is a defined shape, or if we are saying them as the regular shape, then if it is a regular shape, we may have some functions to calculate, or we may have some equations to calculate the area. But now think about if you are having a thing with this irregular shapes, it means that sometimes you may have it is quite in this form. Now you may have if it is in this form. Now think about what will happen. If it is in this form, then if you are asked to calculate this area, then actually you cannot divide this into rectangle, and you can just simply take the area of this part only, but how to measure the area of the remaining part? Therefore, in a situation like this, what you can do is you can use the integration as a method to identify the area. Therefore, area is it is actually a very simple thing that we can uh, identify using the integration. Therefore, many applications of integrals are actually with the geometrically interpretable in the context of area. Therefore, you can use the below listed formula to identification of the calculation of area. In simply, I will first introduce these equations for you, and thereafter we will some examples regarding the calculation of area using integration. Now we'll think that let f and g be two continuous functions, and if we are interested about the graphical approach of this function f and function g in the region of x equals a, and here x equals b, x equals a to b, and we will consider this as the a less than b. And in this region, if you can identify that if the gx is greater than or equal to fx in the region AB, then we can identify the area bounded by this fx and gx using this equation. But if you see about the thing that we have discussed in a graphical manner, it is quite like this. Now think that you may have this as the area. You may have this as the I will take a simple function. I will just take one function and I will explain it to you. And think about this is the value x, and if this is what we are saying as a value y, or the functional value of x. Now think about if you are just having a graph in this shape. Now think about this is what we are calling as fx. First we will look for uh, a simple graph or any single graph as this fx, and then we will combine this gx to this. And now if you ask to calculate the area between area below this graph fx in the region of a to b, and this is the function you are having, and now what we are going to do is you are going to identify the area that you need to or find the interval of x that you need to take this area. Therefore, here you can say these are the values for a and b. These are the values for a and b. Now, if you need to get the area of this region, means that area of this colored region, if I color it, then you may get this region, and this is the region that we need to get the value for. And if you need to get the area of this region, and we will name it as A, what we can simply do is we can integrate this function. Then we can say that according to the theories, we can say that the area of this region would be, first of all, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to integrate this function fx with the given subject, it is dx, the subject of x, and the region, or the, since we are using the definite integral, therefore the region would be from a to the values of x. Therefore, if you use this technique, then we say that this is the way of identification of area if function fx is continuous in the region a to b. Therefore, if you ask to calculate the area between of area below the function fx with the x-axis and the region a to b, if you ask to calculate the area in this form, then you can use this equation. Here we are having fx is this, this is the equation we are having, and we are considering the next function as the x-axis. Therefore, if you consider about this, here x-axis, it is the value of fx is 0. That is why we can use a simple function in this form and we can evaluate the value. Now we will go for another way. It is actually the form of this equation. Now think about if you are having the graph in this form. Now think about, sometimes you may have this as the x-axis, and we will say this as our y-axis. And now think about, we are having two functions. One is naming as fx and another is naming as gx. And we can say that the value of gx is higher than the value of fx in the region from a to b. Therefore, if I draw these functions, then I can draw this as one function, and I will draw the next as my fx. Therefore, I will use another color. And if this is the function I am having for fx, it means that this is what I have identified as gx. This is the function identified as gx, and if this is the function identified as fx. Now, if you ask to get the area of the area in between these two functions, but you are asked to evaluate it using a defined region. Now think about, this is the region. They ask us to do this. Think about, this is the value of A, and this is the value of B. And now you need to identify this region denoted by A, and if I color it, then I can say this would be the area that I need to evaluate a value. I need to evaluate the value for this colored area. Now, how I can do this? The things that you have used previously can be actually used to evaluate this. It is because if you just thinking this as a single function, if you consider gx as the only function that you are having, if you can calculate this whole area, it is the area between x-axis, function gx, and value of x equals a to b. Therefore, first of all, you can calculate the area for this complete region, and thereafter what you can do is you can remove this area, or you can simply subtract this area. Then thereafter you can simply get the value of A. Therefore, what you can do is first you need to identify the area up to Gx. Therefore, you can get the area in that region as what you have to do is you have to integrate the function from A to B. The function which is behave as on top of fx is Gx. Therefore, first of all, we have to integrate this function dx with respect to x in the region of A to B. And to identify this interval or this area, what you can do is you can integrate the function fx now. Now to identify that area, again you are integrating the function fx in the region of A to B with respect to x. Now what you can do is, now you can take the subtraction of this. Therefore, this gives us the whole, this complete part minus this small part gives the value of A. Therefore, using this concept, you can identify the area between two regions. Therefore, now this gives the value of A. Now, when we discuss about the definite integral, we have learned that if we have the same interval of x, then we can write them inside the single integral. Therefore, this can be written as now this is equal to integral of a to b. The limit is common for both. Now, what you need to do is you need to get the difference. It is the gx minus fx. It is gx minus fx, and you need to get the derivative with respect to x. Therefore, what you can do is you can use this function to get the area between two functions in this form. That is how we can obtain this as the a equals integral of gx minus fx with respect to x in the region of a to b. Therefore, this is the theory that we are going to use in identification of area. Now we will go for an example. Therefore, if you consider about this example, now it is saying that first of all you are asked to calculate the area bounded by the function gx denoted as x squared minus 2x plus 3 with the x-axis and x equals 1 and x equals 4. In if you have given a problem like this, first of all you need to sketch the graph, and you have to include all the required information in that graph. Therefore, first of all I have sketched the graph of gx, which is denoted by x squared minus 2x plus 3, and then they are asked to calculate the area bounded by this graph and x-axis and the value of x equal 1 and x equal 4. Now, if you mark down the region, then you can identify this is the region I have. It is actually below this graph, the area below this graph, and therefore we can use this as the region that we can use to identify. Therefore, the colored region has to be now uh, calculated using the concepts of the integration. Therefore, now if you go through this area, this is the colored area. Therefore, now we can say this is the value, we can say this as A, and we need to evaluate the value for this region. Therefore, the first thing that we have learned under this, it is how to get the area under a curve with the x-axis. Therefore, what you have to do is you have to integrate this function fx. This is what you have identified as function fx. Simply here it is given as gx. Gx is the function we can see here, and it is now given as x squared minus 2x plus 3, and it is for this is dx, and rather than saying this as x-axis, we can say x-axis is the value where y equals 0. Here instead of y, now we can use this as fx. Therefore, using that concept also we can do it. Therefore, if you it is no need to use two separate functions. You can still use this function if you need, but anyhow you have to identify that in this function fx is equal to 0 if you are using the x-axis rather than using any other function. Therefore you can identify gx equals x squared minus 2x plus 3 and fx equal to 0, and the lower bound is the value of a, it is given as 1, and the upper bound of x is given as b and it is equal to 4. And if you do the substitution for this, then what you will get is now you can do the substitution in this equation. Integral of gx minus fx with respect to x in the region of a to b. Now you have identified gx and fx was identified as 0. Therefore, if you perform the calculation, what you can do at the beginning is first of all you can write down the relevant terms and values associated for this equation, and now you can see gx equals x squared minus 2x plus 3, and you have identified that fx as equal to 0 and lower limit is 1 and upper limit was 4. Then prior to do the integration, it is better to solve the expression inside the bracket. Therefore here it is no need to again solve, it is because here you can see the value 0 appears here. Therefore in here we can definitely go for the integral from this step. Therefore if you integrate this function with respect to x, first of all we will get integral of x squared given as x cubed divided by 3, and integral of minus 2x, integral of minus 2x, what you can do is here if you are having minus 2x, then you can take minus 2 out, then the integral of x, then this can be given as integral of, now it is x squared divided by 2 as the integral of x. Therefore if you cancel out the terms, then this will give as the minus x squared. Therefore here you can see this is the integral of minus 2x is minus x squared, then integral of plus 3 can be obtained as plus 3x. Now you have finished all the things related to integration. Here it is no need to add the arbitrary constant since we are evaluating this as the definite integral. Now you have to write down the limits, the bottom or the lower bound limit or the lower limit is stated here, and the upper limit has to be stated in this point. Now what you can do is you can now do the substitution. First you have to substitute the upper limit. Once you substitute the upper limit, the first part gives in this form, and once you substitute the lower limit, then it will be in this form. Therefore once you perform the calculation on into this addition, multiplication and subtractions, then you will get this as the area is equal to 15 units. This is how we are using the integration to calculate the area which is bounded by x-axis and any given function. And now we will discuss another example related to this, and here it is asked to calculate the area bounded by the function gx and fx. Here this is the only thing that they have given for us. They asked us to calculate the area bounded by gx equals x divided by 2 plus 1 and fx equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. In a situation like this, first of all you have to identify what which function has the higher value among the defined region, and so far the region is not given, therefore we need to identify the region also. Therefore as the first thing what we have to do is we need to sketch these two functions. According to these two functions we can sketch them, and now you can see that the sketch, once you sketch these two functions, then we can name this as, this is my fx, it is the curve denoted by x squared minus 2x plus 1, and this is the graph for fx, and this is the graph for gx. Now think about now see about this sketch. Now if you see about this sketch, then the intersect points, if you consider these are the intersect points, and if I need to get this area, this is the area bounded by actually these two regions. Area bounded by these two graphs would be the region marked as, if I highlight it, then I can say this is the area bounded by these two graphs. Therefore, I can simply do a calculation to obtain the value for this region. Therefore, this colored region must be now identified. Now we have already identified that function gx is x divided by 2 plus 1 and fx is the x cat minus 2x plus 1. And you can see that now the function value of gx is higher than fx for this region. Therefore, I will consider it for the calculation, and now these 2 points has to be identified. It means that what we can do is we can identify uh, the intersection points. Therefore, if you go to identify these intersection points, then you can mark it here. Then this will be one point that we need to identify, and this is the next point we need to identify. Here what we need to do is we just need to take the x values of these 2 points. Therefore, to get the x values of these 2 points, what we need to do, what we can do is, if you see about these two graphs, now you can say that the y values at these 2 points are similar for these two graphs. Therefore, in simply what you can do is you can equate these two functions together to evaluate or get the value for x. Therefore, what we can do is we can set to calculate the x coordinate of the intersect point, we can set gx equals fx. If you set gx equals fx, then you will get this as x divided by 2 plus 1. This is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1. And if you take all the terms to one side, then this will gives you as x squared minus 5 divided by 2 times x, and it is because this 1 and 1 will be cancel out, plus and minus cancel out, and then you will remain this as 0. Therefore, this is the equation you are obtaining. Now what you can do it now is you can take one, since x is common for both terms, then you can take 1x out from this expression, and the remaining values would be as this form. Now what you can do is, now just it is just like factoring this equation. Once you have factorized this equation, you have to evaluate each factor to 0 to evaluate the value of x. Therefore, what you can do is evaluate x. You can equate x to 0, and then you can equate x minus 5 divided by 2 equals 0. Therefore, now equating them separately to 0, you can get the value of x equals 0, and now the next value is x equals 5 divided by 2. Therefore, you can see that these are the values that the graph shows us. Well, at the value of x equals 0, we are having the intersect point, as well as at the value of x equals 2.5, we are having the next intersection point. But as in some situations you may not be able to factor out this. Therefore, in such situations, after obtaining if it is a quadratic equation, then you can use the equation, it is minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2 times a. Therefore, you can use the equation which you have learned previously, minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times AC divided by 2 times A. Therefore, using this equation, you can calculate the value for x. But anyhow, if it can be easily factorized, then you can use these techniques to factorize it. If it is a thing, if term is common, then you can take out, or else you have to factorize it, and then you have to equate each factor to 0 to obtain the values of x. Now you have identified the relevant values. It is x equals 0 and x equals 2.5. Now you can see that these are the regions that we need to identify as the values for A and B. Therefore, now if you set these values accordingly, then what we can get is, if you set the values, then gx is x squared minus 2x plus 1, fx is x divided by 2 plus 1, And if I write the values here, value of fx was identified as x divided by 2 plus 1. Value of gx was identified as x squared minus 2x plus 1. And you have identified the value of a as 0, since it is uh, the lower interval or the lower bound, uh, which is the first point that we have identified for the intersection. And value of b is 5 divided by 2, or else you can say it as 2.5. Now what you have to do is you have to do the substitution, and once you perform the substitution, then you can see it is in this form. Value of gx and fx. Now uh, here I have done a mistake. You need to correct it. Here it is not the fx. This should be gx, and this should be fx. It is given in the function in this form, as well as the graph also suggested that this line is on top of the curve. Therefore, this should be gx and this should be fx. Therefore, once you do the substitution accordingly, gx is x divided by 2 plus 1 and fx equals x squared minus 2x plus 1. And before performing this calculation, the integration, you have to solve the things inside the brackets. And if you do the calculation, then you will end up with the calculation as minus x squared plus 5 divided by 2 times x. And you need to integrate this function with respect to x in the region of 0 to 2.5, since you have identified the lower bound and the lower limit and the upper limit as 0 and 5 divided by 2. Then you can integrate the function. Therefore, if you integrate minus x squared with respect to x, then you will get it as x cubed divided by 3. And if you integrate this part, then you will get it as 5 divided by 4 times x squared. Thereafter, what you can do is you can integrate the function from the interval 0 to 2.5. Then upper limit has to be submitted first, and then you have to submit the lower limit. Therefore, once you perform this calculation, then you can get it as 125 divided by 40. Therefore, you can now say that the area bounded by these two graphs are equal to 125 divided by 48 number of units. Therefore, this is how you are evaluating or obtaining the values for area using the techniques of integration. And this is what I need to discuss for this session. And thank you all for joining with this session.